Well, so we have AM Talk, and of course, I guess are in the studio. We have Boniface Gambila Adagbela. He's a member of Parliament for Nakdam in the studio. Thanks for joining me. I
Good
see you're
morning.
reading a lot of the things we gave you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. And also Galus is in the studio, and Adam Tawakilu is a member of Parliament for Damango. Thanks for joining me, Galus.
Thank you very much.
Now let's look at the Dame Diagnostic Center is your ultra-modern diagnostic center specialized in the treatment of fibroid. Their competent and well-trained staff will ensure that you undergo the treatment of fibroid without any operation, all under hygienic conditions, and all this with the application of modern technologies in their practice. They are located at Okponglo Junction here in Accra and TUC in Kumasi. Please call them on the following number I'm about to mention: 0243-176-119 or 0207-515623 or 02733-27054. Dimed Diagnosis Center. They treat fibroid without any operation. Now, let's get to the substantive of the issues. 4 computers containing voter registration data apparently has been stolen, and following the fallout from the limited voter registration, we have a number of issues. For example, on the front page of the Daily Graphic also, Dr. Rekubrobi has been speaking. He's been quoted as saying that even the Supreme Court ruling is a bit ambiguous. He felt that it wouldn't enable the Electoral Commission to do its work justifiably. He said there's a worrying trend. He says because of the way the ruling has been made, it's enabled people to put, or let's say critics to put various spins on the judgment, which is not good for our democracy. And he also feels that we're just in a situation where there are divided opinions on what the judgment is. But let's look at this. Fallout from the registration: 4 computers stolen at a registration center at Savalugu in the northern region. But this is just an isolated incident, because a number of incidents happened. There were fights here and there were fisticuffs, and there were even disagreement, especially among the topmost parties, the MPP and the NDC. These follow-ups, especially from the election, Galus.
Thank you very much. Good morning to our cherished viewers, more especially the good people of Damongo constituency. I want to seek your permission to extend my thanks to the constituency chairman of Damongo constituency, the party executives,
for the NDC
and the youth, yes, okay, of the NDC
and the MPP,
for coming out and working very hard to ensure that we had a very successful registration in the constituency. Yeah, during the limited registration, as I read, a lot of issues came up, and yesterday we heard of the stealing of computers in Savalugu, but came out that it wasn't targeted at the EC's office alone, because the EC, they are in the same building with the GS, and the GS offices were also broken into and some computers stolen. So that means that those people were intended to steal, but not targeting EC. Also, the EC, head of EC there, indicated that it has not affected the data that they had taken. Notwithstanding, it's not a good sign, and I think it should be condemned in all uncertain terms, that at least respect must be given to our electoral system, and the police should do everything possible to get the culprits so that they could be brought to book. But during the process, there were a few issues. An MP was slapped by the chairman of the same political party, that is MPP, the regional chairman
of Ashanti region, specific.
Ashanti. No, I'm saying the regional chairman of MPP in the Ashanti region slapped his own party member of parliament, and it resulted into a police arrest of the chairman and subsequent bail of 20,000 Ghana cedis, which is not a good sign. That violence should be condemned. because election goes with a lot of patience. It has a lot of passion, but if you are not careful, you let your anger takes over you, and that can mar whatever processes we're going through to get it. So I want to condemn that act and also indicate that this is something we shouldn't support. We shouldn't support in our electoral system. And also issues came up in respect to some people who have not had the opportunity to register. Yesterday I listened to Ayawa, so West Wagon, saying that most students in Legon had no opportunity to register, and therefore the students are threatening to go to court to ensure that their rights are being taken care of. Yeah, but the EC also came out that they are putting plans in place to ensure continuous registration. That tells you that it is not only this limited registration exercise that you have the opportunity to register or not. That means even after this limited registration exercise, you walk to the nearest electoral commission office, you could get registered. And so whoever still wants to register, we have that opportunity to register. The extension will not solve the issues at the end of the day, but once there's continuous, whoever is interested will go, and therefore resorting to the law court will not be the best option.
But at the end of the day, the political parties, for example, in a summation of what the stories are on the Daily Graphic, it seems to indicate that there's some mixed reactions. People want some level of extension. It depends on which registration areas, etc. Just to make sure that the various problems are covered adequately. Is that not generally the concern?
Oh, me?
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Let me say, let me read
People are Damango.
People are Damango that are greeting the MPP in Damango. So I agree the Damango, NDC, and MPP. But more specifically, let me zero to NAFDAM. And the whole of the Upper East, in fact, Upper East is my home. And I think I want to congratulate Upper East, and more specifically NAFDAM, all the parties involved, for their hard work. No, I haven't heard the reports reaching me.
No negative incidents.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So, in particular, I always say NAFDAM is the Geneva of Ghana. No war, no fight, no quarrels, nothing. Anyway, having said that, look, he's even laughing at me. Having said that, the EC, what is this continuous registration he's talking about?
Is it wrong?
It's in the law, and have they ever done it? So why do they want to deceive the students?
It's not because you political
No,
parties, political parties generally will not allow.
Don't
You want to have.
Don't worry. So what? Look, the reality test is that we just need to be objective. What is out there on the ground? This limited registration has a target. The greatest target group is those who have attained 18
or not registered before.
Yeah, the greatest is those who have attained 18. Those who haven't registered before are a small group, if you look at it. So we're looking at the youth, okay? We're looking at the youth. And so majority of these people, the catchment area is in the institutions at this time. Universities, polytechnics.
They are in the schools.
Yeah, they are in the schools. So if they have raised a concern, EC should stop playing around the normal robotic games. Just plan. It's a problem. And as a leader, an institutional leadership, you just have to say, this is the problem, gather the data, and find the solutions to it. Simple. That shows the quality of leadership. Not just going around and we don't know what to do. We had we had added one this, one that. No. What continuous registration? Continuous registration doesn't happen in Ghana here. It has never happened.
And you don't think it will happen?
They won't do it. These people won't do it. They should just solve the problem by reorganizing and getting
some members
the
of your party, particularly the MP for the area who has been on this show, has striked that, well, he finds it very difficult to make the conclusion that perhaps it's a deliberate attempt to differentiate.
No, let's leave whether deliberate or not deliberate.
right.
This problem has come. If it is deliberate, it's a problem. If it is not deliberate, it's a problem.
How do we resolve it then?
Oh, the resolution is simple. The students are there, and that is, as I say, it's a simple catchment area, and you just need to move with machines and register them. No problem. That shouldn't be a problem. Because if you don't do, when we talked of validation, the key thing they mentioned was that people will be disenfranchised. People have gone to America. People are in Europe. People are where?
That's true.
Where they will be disenfranchised.
That's
okay?
True. It's true.
So, this registration, people are at home and you want to disenfranchise them. It's double standards. And it doesn't show competence. And it doesn't show sensible leadership, institutional leadership, I mean. Okay? So that should be tackled. Now, this issue of hooliganism, I think if EC is really strict, becomes open, free, and stands firm on its issues, tighten the knots, corners, block things, and go straight to doing things right, not talking double languages, people build the confidence of people in them, then of course, this kind of minor registration, double foreigners registration, look, it will cease. EC itself should stand by the law, the power given to it. Should be able to say that is this because everybody sees it's clear. Okay? Now, a situation, a general secretary of NDC will come and say they have registered minors. And the law is there. By this time, he should have been in the BNI.
The general secretary was putting things. I think that hasn't he been quoted out of context?
Maybe, but
he was making commentary on a certain subject and said that
minors have been registered.
No, he said that it was sycophantic for the parties to inwardly look into themselves and say they don't register minors. That all the parties will register. I think that he was doing a lot more justice to how sycophantic many of you, the political parties, behave.
How can he speak for MPP? In Nabdam constituency, no minor has been registered. In Accra, I haven't seen.
There are pictures even showing from strongholds of your party, which is alleging. I'm saying strongholds, and you don't only have one stronghold, which is even alleging that there are young people who have been put on the register.
So what did the EC do? What did the EC do? What did the EC?
The EC hasn't done anything either for either side of the strongholds of the other party too.
The EC is the problem. You see, if I have a law, you think the police has a mandate, then the police sitting there, you are breaking somebody's door. The policeman will keep quiet. You think he will be lazy sitting back there?
Yeah. Because the genesis for many of the violence we're seeing, for which even Dr. Papakwesi Indo of the PPP is saying that party leaders need to be punished for supporters hooliganism.
Oh, that is
it's because of some of these things. Yeah. Now, if we know as political parties we're not going to register minors, then we have to be truthful to ourselves.
Yeah.
But really, on the ground, that's not what happens, is it?
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't encourage these minor things because it's a danger to the
You don't encourage
the minor.
But on the ground, party activists register.
Let's educate the public. Let me educate the public. Today, so many chaps have come to say that, they've applied to the army and the police, and they say they are overage. Okay? Overage means he's above 25. So if you go and register as a voter, parents looking and their children go and register as voters, they will be overaged. Okay? Tomorrow, the child wants to join the police, the fire service, the army, the age would catch him or her. So it is disadvantage. The child goes to commit an offense, the laws of this country will deal with that child as an adult. So we need to educate the public. So these minor things, it's not about fighting for doing these corner things, but it's about educating the public. EC and NCC have not done that.
You, the party, is supposed to be complementary.
Thank you. First of all, I want to just
you are coming to say that your strongholds don't register minors.
No, in respect to continuous registration, To be very frank, EC came out with this statement that they were discussing with stakeholders for continual registration. Not only because, even before they did, not only because of students in the tertiary institution, but the point is that people get 18. Why not? Once it is in the law, it can be implemented.
Why were we not doing it each year prior to now?
Today,
otherwise, we would have been doing limited registration, would we?
No.
You mop up, and those who have no opportunity to register should be. Some will be 18 in June, and they will be qualified to vote in November. So do we say that if we end this limited registration exercise, if you are 18 as at November 7th, you are not entitled to vote?
The EC publish a
so
timetable.
that is why they are coming up with this thing that they should be continuous. So even on October 30th, if you are 18 years, you should be able to vote.
There'll be a time when the register will be closed because it has to be given to you.
That is why they said continuous. Now, too, when you come to registration of minors. Who fill the challenge forms?
The
when
party
a
agents.
minor comes, who fill the challenge
The party
form?
agents, right?
They represent what? They represent political
parties.
parties.
Yes.
And the political parties play a very central role. If a minor comes, both political party agrees that that person is 18 years. Can the EC say no? They are able to prove they maybe brought a birth set
But that was
indicating
these were
18.
Not the cases.
One.
These were not the cases.
People came to confirm, and both parties agree, or all the parties agree that the person is above 18
Because
years.
that's critical.
That is, so it is with the political parties who are the cause. And then we tend to blame too much on EC. Once they put the 18 years there, the system will capture it.
But within the
However, educating the general public in respect to allowing your minor to register at this time has a consequence, as he indicated. Most people now, it is electronic. You feel the moment your age is even 1 day beyond the required age, automatically you are disqualified. And therefore, we need to educate the public in respect to
What about the fact that, as far as the minors are, it was a very turning point for many of the disputes that we were witnessing that also was reported by the media during the period of the registration exercise. There were some contentious issues that people were even sent back to their homes, even though they had two people to come and testify for them or to come and corroborate whatever it is that they were saying. And still, the political party agents on the other side decided that no, or all of them there said there were concerns or red flags, so to speak. That also could lead to disenfranchisement of many people.
There is always a law that if you disagree, you fill a challenge form, and the processes will go through. So there is a law that outlines the processes by which you could challenge.
Roland, you see,
and therefore, there's no need that nobody, when both political parties agree, and the person agreed that yes, this
the Electoral Commission has said
age,
the exercise.
then the person will automatically not register.
Usu Pari, who is now the head or the director of administration, says the exercise was largely successful.
Yeah.
And for instance, he said the EC was able to go to all the 6,000 registration centers within the 10 days. And he said, we believe that nearly all the people got the opportunity to register.
What is this?
That speaks volumes. The Electoral Commission.
What has
director
he said? What is he saying?
He said a lot.
Already they plan to go to 6,000 points. So if you have gone to the 6,000 points, what is the
You're saying
success
that's even moot in itself.
That is the job you are supposed to do. You are even supposed, we call the people's all polling stations. All polling stations. That would have been easier. So if they've gone to all the polling stations, and the EC staff, they have been, or they are supposed to be trained, should have more ways of finding out and interpreting the laws and the rules. So if I am EC registering you and all the parties stand there and say, oh, this minor is of age, is 18, and no, because verbal agreement, that guarantee thing, I will dig further.
On a scale to 10, 1 to 10, how much would you give the EC?
For what?
The registrations.
for the exercise.
1 to 10.
This one is a normal business. Give them rating for what? It's a normal business they should be doing. They've been doing it.
Well, I know. If you have to rate them for this normal business.
There is no, there
1
is
to
nothing.
10, please. 1 to 10.
1 to 10. It's the normal business.
1 to 10.
They have
2 over
done
10,
their
3 over
normal
10,
business.
4
No,
over
no,
10.
normal business doesn't need rating.
That's
they
0.
have done their normal job.
8
They've done
over
their
10.
normal
8
job.
over 10.
Yes.
We'll see how that goes. But Dr.